Namaste to all. My name is Dr. Prakash Sannakanavar, Assistant Professor and Research Guide, Department of Studies in Education, Karnataka State Akkamadevi Women's University, Vijaypur. Now I am going to present my paper entitled is A Study of Reading Habit in Relation to Their Usage of Library Resources among B.Ed Teacher Trainees. Introduction. University's library was key role of providing a good learning resources for development of people's reading habits. The library makes use of conduct of the learners and their selections what to examine extract dramatically from learners to learners. This paper will be revealed of different type of reading habit of B.Ed teacher trainees in relation to their usage of library learning resources in the Karnataka State Akkamadevi Women's University, Vijaypur. Descriptive and correlation research method was used in the present study. The investigator was prepared questionnaires tool for collecting the data and analysis of quantitative data in the respect of mean, standard deviation, t-test and Pearson correlation method was applied this study. Definition of reading habit. According to Rudman, 1957, reading interests often refer to the selection of subject matter or preference for a genre of literature being reading. Benefits of reading habit. Primary source of knowledge. Enrich vocabulary. Develop communication skills. Definition of usage of library resources. Library usage means those who are accomplishment library cards to pertaining to visit again and again for reading reference books, magazines, newspapers, journals, etc. in right time on the campus of library. Benefits of using library. We advantage of having unfastened books, availability of all sort of books, a disciplined area to study. Libraries provide one of a kind lectures and instructions. General objectives of this study. To understand the reading habit of B.Ed teacher trainees, to identify the uses of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees. Specific objectives of these studies. First one, to investigate the relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees. Second one, to study the relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed first year teacher trainees. Third one, to study the relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed second year teacher trainees. Fourth one, to study the relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed arts teacher trainees. Fifth one, the study to study the relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed the science teacher trainees. Hypothesis of this study. First one, there is no significant relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees. Second one, there is no significant relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed first year teacher trainees. Third one, there is no significant relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed second year teacher trainees. Fourth one, there is no significant relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed arts teacher trainees. And last one, there is no significant relationship between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed science teacher trainees. Methodology. For the existing study, descriptive survey method was found to be appropriate. The purpose was to examine the objectives of the study. It described the reading habit of B.Ed teacher trainees and their relationship to various demographic variables like arts, science, first year and second year B.Ed teacher trainees of Department of Education, Karnataka State Akkamadevi Women's University, Vijaypur. Sampling of the study. The random sampling technique was applied in this study. The random sampling is a procedure that assures all the samples of a particular dimensions have an identical chance of individual prepared and thus eliminates any bias when we draw the samples. Tools for the study. The questionnaires were prepared for the B.Ed teacher trainees to study the reading habit and usage of library resources of the Department of Education, B.Ed, Karnataka State Akkamadevi Women's University, Vijaypur in the academic year of 1920 and 22. The questionnaires are consisting of 25 main statements on the both tools. Correlation collection of the data. The investigator personally visited to the classrooms in the Department of Education, B.Ed, Karnataka State Akkamadevi Women's University, Vijaypur. The investigator explained the required information and distributed the both tools for collecting the required data, and individual seats were gathered with the assistance of the trainee teachers. Statistical techniques. The descriptive statistical technique and correlation test was used to evaluate the association between two or more variables. Findings of this study. First one, the reading habit of B.Ed teacher trainees have higher as compared to usage of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees. A significant and positive relationship was observed between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees at 0.5% level of significance. Hence, the null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. Second one, the reading habit of B.Ed first year teacher trainees have lower as compared to usage of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees. A not significant and negative relationship was observed between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed first year teacher trainees at 0.5% level of significance. Hence, the null hypothesis is accepted and alternative hypothesis is rejected. Third one, the reading habit of B.Ed second year teacher trainees have higher as compared to usage of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees. A significant and positive relationship was observed between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed second year teacher trainees at 0.5% level of significance. Hence, the null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. Fourth one, the reading habit of B.Ed arts teacher trainees have higher as compared to usage of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees. A significant and positive relationship was observed between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed arts teacher trainees at 0.5% level of significance. Hence, the null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. And last one finding, the reading habit of B.Ed science teacher trainees have lower as compared to usage of library resources. A not significant and negative relationship was observed between reading habit and usage of library resources of B.Ed science teacher trainees at 0.5% level of significance. Hence, the null hypothesis is accepted and alternative hypothesis is rejected. Educational implications of this study. Teacher training colleges are organized of reading promotional activities, programs and events. Second one, the structured and mechanical use of the selected books and other resources by the student teachers are very much important for the promotion of the reading habit of the teacher trainees. Delimitations of the study. The present study was restricted to the Department of Education, B.Ed, Karnataka State Akmadevi Women's University student teachers as it were. Second one, the study was restricted to the reading habit and uses of library resources of B.Ed teacher trainees in the Department of Education, B.Ed, Karnataka State Akamadevi Women's University, Vijaypur. Conclusion. The reading addiction could be very a good deal important for the teacher trainees as it equips the scholars with vital information and knowledge now no longer simplest of constructing their personal existence, however additionally for contributing undoubtedly to the socio-monetary improvement of the nation. Thank you, one and all.